I'm intrigued by your combination of physical therapy and nutrition. And a lot of people will come to you maybe for pain, or they just want to learn how to lose weight, but can I actually come to you if I've got some type of a diagnosis, like high blood pressure? I mean, what would you do with somebody who's there with high blood pressure? Can I do anything through one of your modalities?
Sure, absolutely. It's really interesting how many people these days are opting out of pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
I think it only takes watching a couple of those commercials and listening to that litany of stuff that they just speed talk, all the way through, for people to understand, boy, if I could avoid that, I would rather. So when I have someone come to me who has recently seen their doctor and been told, your blood pressure is a little high, let me put you on this medication, more and more people are saying to their doctor, could I try something else first? I really don't want to go on that drug if I don't have to. Isn't there something else I could do? And they wind up finding me, and we sit down. There are some really simple things to do. Of course, eating more whole foods and sort of in general will help you, but a lot of people don't know, like a really simple one, celery. Celery has a compound in it that they've actually done quite a bit of study on, that what they figured out, 2 stalks of celery a day. 2 stalks, not heads of celery.
So 2.
Right, just 2 of those, I think they call them ribs, right, of celery a day will effectively lower your blood pressure, often at least as much, if not more, than the blood pressure medications with the studies that they've done. So, if I had my choice between, do I take that drug or do I eat 2 stalks of celery, maybe with some peanut butter in it or whatever.
Something to make it tasty, like you do at Thanksgiving, right?
Exactly, have some hummus, whatever. Even if that was my choices, I would just mow it down raw, just like it is.
A lot of times now you can also buy juices, so do you find juicing as effective, or is it eating the whole stalk? Is it the whole food plant, or is it...
So in this case, if you juiced at home, right, with that raw celery, 2 stalks in your, along with some other things in your juice, yes, it would be very, very effective.
Wonderful.
Going out and buying most of the juices that are on the shelves, unfortunately, because they have to pasteurize them, they go to a high heat. A lot of those phytonutrients and enzymes that are so effective, kind of from, in this case, a medicinal standpoint, are damaged and or they outlive the shelf life outlives them, and so you don't get that benefit anymore. Much better if you do it yourself.
So it's either juice at home, if you don't like to eat celery, I can juice at home, or find a fresh juice bar that's making it while you watch.
Absolutely, just make sure they put at least 2 stalks of celery in, you're good to go. And you can also do it as a smoothie too.
That's true.
So if you
Lots of ways if you don't like the flavor.
Right, and if you don't have a juicing machine at home, any blender will do. Vitamixes are delightful, but it's even okay if all you have is the Oster, right?
Yeah.
That will still work. And celery is actually pretty easy to hide in your juice or your smoothie. So, it's a really beneficial... And what I find really interesting about this particular one is that so many people have been told, well, celery doesn't have very much nutrient value.
It's true. It's almost like negative calories.
There's no calories to it, but you don't get much out of it either. And that's really misinformation for sure. I think back in the day when we really didn't understand how many different kinds of nutrients there are in fruits and vegetables, when it was just, well, does it have vitamin A, B, C, D, E, or K? No, then I guess
it's on the base of the food pyramid, right?
Right. We didn't really understand that there are literally thousands of phytochemicals and enzymes and beneficial things in these plants that may not be a macronutrient, so to speak, so it may not be, your protein or your carbohydrate or your fat, may not even be a vitamin or a mineral, which we knew a little bit about, but nevertheless are still critically important for our health.
That's fascinating.
So, to just sort of whitewash it and say there's no nutrient value in that was premature, for sure. Pretty short-sighted, and as it turns out, in the case of celery, just flat out wrong.
So I'm curious. Now, let's just say that I come to you and I've been on high blood pressure medication for 30 years.
Yeah,
right. And I'm like, wow, I'm just starting to read, I'm starting to get to know that I shouldn't need these my whole life. I wasn't born with a pill shortage.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Would you recommend that they start with celery and then work with their doctor as their
So
blood
I
pressure
would never
changes?
ever tell people to just stop taking their medications, right? That's especially for someone like that. If you were to come to me with that history, you've been on that medication for that long, yeah, the last thing we would want to do is have you just stop taking them. And even though I've had people come to me and say that's exactly what they want to do, your body is now used to having that. We're going to have to work you off of it. It's going to be a whole lot better if we do that in coordination with your doctor.
Wonderful. So you would work with my physician if that were me.
Sure,
To help me.
absolutely.
That's
Yep.
wonderful.
Yes, as long as they want to talk to me, that's usually the big stumbling block. But more and more, I think more and more doctors are understanding that food is a really important piece of this. Where it used to just sort of be poo-pooed before, now there's more and more of them that are really understanding, okay, yeah, this actually is a piece of the puzzle. And so, I find that many doctors are more than happy to kind of have conversations with me about it and, help on the other end of that.
Or at least know
story.
that you're doing some interventions that may
Right.
affect the level of medication that
Right.
they need as an
Exactly.
intervention. Okay,
Exactly.
wonderful.
And also, I think it helps for them to get a chance to talk to me and understand that I'm not going to be that person who just says, oh, all of these things are evil, you need to stop doing it right now, with no thought to how that might actually affect someone's health. So it is reassuring for the physician to, get a chance to see who I am and what I'm about as well. But yeah, helping people to figure out what is the right way to wean off of those. And I've had many clients who have been able to significantly reduce the dosage at the very least, and quite a good number who end up ultimately getting off of those high blood pressure, high cholesterol. The statins, there's so much stuff coming out now about statins and how really terrible they truly are. So, helping people reduce those things, get away from those things, and the blood sugars too, really successful with diet and lifestyle changes.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for the tip on celery.
Tip
I'm
on
gonna
celery
start
is so
to
easy.
sing the song of celery.
That's right. It's such an easy thing to do.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.